It's once again Pancras Malani, your tour guide in South Africa. With this video, I want to show my face. As I said, I will be showing you my travels. It's a 15 days tour here from Cape Town until we reach Johannesburg. So on our third day, we are in an area called Franschhoek. Franschhoek, it's a museum, especially when we have French tourists. In my group, I have actually the French and Algerians, people from Algeria who also speak French in addition to their language. I'm not sure if it's Arabic or something else, but it must be Arabic. So, but they from Algeria, they bought this holiday and they met other tourists here in South Africa. So we're traveling together. So now this is the museum, and it is a museum speaks about the history of the Huguenots. The Huguenots were the French Protestants. After the war in France, there was what is called the Edict of Nantes. The Edict of Nantes refused some basic rights to the Protestants, the Huguenots, majority of Huguenots, and then they ran away as refugees to Holland. And that is basically from 1685. And those who went to find refuge in Holland were invited by the Holland, the Dutch who were present here, to come and help develop this country, produce wheat, produce wine, and that eventually how more or less 200 people of French origin ended up in this area. And then it got the name as the Franschhoek, whatever you can pronounce it. So it's a French corner. So this is one of the house. This house belonged to one of the Huguenots in Cape Town. So it was built in 1967, so to house these artifacts and tell the story of the arrival of the French in this area. So that's what I'm showing you. And we now following the history inside the museum, but at the same time there is a monument which I'm going to show you. By the way, the area is beautiful. You can see it's very clear, the weather is good, and after the museum we look at the monument also that pay tributes to the sacrifice, and the interpretation is more religious. I'm walking there to show you, and while I'm getting there, here they have beautiful flower. You can see the King Protea. So the King Protea is this one. It's a flower, international flower in South Africa. And you can see at a distance that monument, the Huguenot monument, and a lot of workers here making this area look nice. So the gardeners at work maintaining the roses. With this mountain range, by the way, during winter we get some snows on the peaks of those mountains. So the weather here can be hot, can be cold. For the moment, obviously it's very hot. I mean, in terms of temperature, it's moderate, it's very nice. So, and afterwards I'm going to show you a bit of the small town as well. And yeah, here we're gonna spend about 1.5 hours and get into our bus there and drive to the winery where we'll be having our wine tests, followed by lunch in that same property in an area called Pearl. So yeah, I keep on telling you about this day. So yeah, now the next is the just small town, walking to the town to show you. So the history is actually depicted in the museum. You can see there's different languages. There's English, there's French, and there is Xhosa. 16th century. So it's a beautiful house. A lot of history that talks about the French. Now I decided to drive to town. So through the bus, through the window, you can see this little town and see how also tourists get to see when you're driving. It is a small town but very beautiful. There's a lot of nice restaurants, even if we're not going to have a lunch here, but other tourists who decided to stop and have lunch, they have a lot of variety. It's a popular destination for tourists or locals, I mean for South Africans. It's always busy. The municipality house at my right hand side. We will be turning behind the church. This is a small church. And then I'll park there while waiting for my guests to walk from the museum up to this place. The idea after following the history of the Huguenots. They can also see the town. They can experience the walking and the feel of a small town. It's shaking here in the bus, but it's okay. You go left and make in the middle there, the trees, you can make a turn.
I want to go this way. Like somewhere here.
Yes, you go in the middle of the
I was supposed to go that.
gum trees, and then you can make a turn that side, giving some direction to the driver. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed a bit of this town. And next, for my next video, it's Pancras Malani, your tour guide.